here's a big political news break coming in. Is Shashi Tharoor all set to contest in the Congress presidential polls? Shashi Tharoor now in an article and an interview has backed multiple faces to fight it out for the Congress president post. Tharoor has said that more candidates must be in the fray to galvanize voters. And there's big buzz on whether he's indicating that he himself will be in the race for the Congress presidential post. This is an article that Tharoor, in fact, has written in a Malayalam daily that sparked massive speculation over whether he's planning now to put his name in the fray as well to fight it out to the Congress presidential polls, which is slated to happen in October. Tharoor essentially in his message has said that there must be multiple faces, there must be many candidates in the fray to galvanize voters, to ensure people come out and choose who they want. And this has led to buzz that perhaps Tharoor himself is considering contesting for the post of Congress president. But then there will also be questions about whether he will be allowed to do so, whether it will be a welcome development or not, considering this whole chorus that's already kicked off for the Gandhis once again to continue to lead the party. Shibi Mol is joining us live from Thiruvananthapuram with more details on this very, very interesting development there. Shibi Mol, take us through exactly what Tharoor has said in that article.
Well, Akshita, yes, Tharoor has written an article for a Malayalam daily here called Madhrubhumi, and he has said that he has drawn here specifically a comparison to the Conservative Party in Britain and said that like how it's happening there, how a lot of candidates coming forward has attracted global interest. Similarly, Congress also, if more candidates come forward, it will attract national interest to the party and galvanize more voters to the party again. And he says that many people should come forward and put forward their opinions, which will be the right way for Congress to make a comeback. He also goes on to say that in fact, this is the main point where where he's giving out a hint that he could be contesting. As per sources, he is thinking about contesting for the presidential polls scheduled for October 17, but Tharoor has not made a direct comment on this yet. Also, he says that in a democracy, no party should completely be dependent on one family, hinting at the Gandhis here, straight away hitting at the Gandhis here. And but what's contradictory here is, it was 2 weeks before in an interview, Tharoor has said his plans to venture into state politics, where he also said that if given an opportunity to become the chief minister in Kerala, he will surely give it a chance. He would grab it because there are a lot of things to be done in the state. So he has slowly said that I have a good relationship with the state leaders here in Congress in Kerala. So I am kind of considering of venturing into state politics, because in Kerala, Congress is still a contender for power. Unlike where he's again trying to hint that at the center it's not the case. So he's kind of said that he might not contest for the 2024 Lok Sabha polls and might shift his focus to Kerala also. He said that if
Shibi Mol, just stay with me. I also want to bring in Maushmi Singh, who tracks the Congress very, very closely. Maushmi, good morning. Any buzz within the Congress that there could be the likes of Tharoor joining in the race to be the next Congress president?
A very good morning to you, Akshita, and all our viewers. But this has been in the pipeline as far as, the plans in the rebel camp is concerned, and they wanted a contest. It needs to be underlined that Shashi Tharoor was a signatory to the G23. And importantly, now the buzz in the Congress is with Rahul Gandhi, not willing to throw his hat in the ring. There could well be a contest. And we had, in fact, pointed that out earlier on, that if there was an attempt by the Rahul Kotri to pitch a candidate of the choice of the office of Rahul Gandhi or perhaps the Gandhis, there could be a probable contest if the candidate is the larger section believe is not fit enough and is just a yes man or a yes woman. And here you are with Shashi Tharoor, in fact, not speculating but indicating clearly that a free and fair poll is actually, contest is actually in favor of the Congress party. What he points out is very interesting, because he says either way a free and fair election process would be a healthy way to go about setting the issue. It would actually legitimize the mandate. So he did believe that even in the CWC there should have been a mention of electing the CWC members because that would empower the leadership at the helm of affairs. But even, electing a president would be a good start and would help to revitalize the party. So everybody knows that Shashi Tharoor has ambitions, and he has been voicing his ambitions in the inner circle of the leaders that are close to him. And he does believe that there should be a change of guard if the Gandhis are not willing to don the hat. And
Yes, Maushami, there's
yes.
already this narrative with the CWC meet that happened a couple of days ago. There's already this narrative where everyone very publicly saying Gandhis, Gandhis. So amid that, if Shashi Tharoor does throw his hat in the ring, will it be perceived positively or negatively? Will it be seen as an attempt to take on the Gandhis in the Congress?
Akshita, it is very important for the viewers to know that has been a little shift in the line as far as this contest is concerned, because Rahul Gandhi has drawn a line, and it is very apparent that Rahul Gandhi is not absolutely keen of having any of the Gandhis.
Maushami, my apologies for interrupting. Just stay with us. Tom Vadakan of the BJP is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Vadakan, you've been in the Congress. What do you think? If Shashi Tharoor throws his hat in the ring, will it be welcomed?
Well, this all happens on what he brings on the table. It's something, the thought processes and ideas are all maybe good, but the practical issues are when you encounter the Congress party body and then you think you can reform it, well, that's a big order. And I think for that you need consensus from the bottom, and which I don't think he brings on the table. So I don't know how he is going to bring about the kind of reforms that are required. It's easy to talk about it, but then these are, more of declarations or, expectations, but the expectations don't deliver. What you need is somebody who can deliver grounded and somebody who's has floor experience. Being a member of parliament, he may have had exposures, yes. But an all-India experience to handle the Indian National Congress requires, and especially at this juncture when it's literally in the ICU, needs a better doctor than some people think that they can deliver the goods.
What do you think, Mr. Vadakan, as someone who's seen the functioning of the Congress, do you think that someone like a Shashi Tharoor, if he is, serious about contesting for the Congress president election, will be welcomed, will be perceived positively or negatively, considering all the chorus within the Congress is always about the Gandhis?
In democracy, everybody has a right to have an ambition. Every worker has a right. I mean, that is not the issue here. The issue here is somebody who can bring about the healing touch. And that healing touch is something which a person of experience, somebody with the kind of exposure to the party. I mean, compared to the other leaders, his exposure is a good gentleman, no denial about that. Very good thoughts, very, idealistic, all that one accepts. But the point here is we need not just a quack, we need a full-time doctor who can be hands-on, take the party from the ICU, which condition, and then not just from the ICU to the recovery room. It's a long process, and whether this doctor is equipped with that equipment, I think time, or I don't know, if he carries that kind of skills, will be extraordinary.
Mr. Vadakan, to you, and this is personally from your experience within the Congress, who do you think is an ideal candidate for what you're saying needs to be addressed within the Congress? Look,
I am the BJP spokesman, not an advisor or on a pulpit to give advice to the Congress. Congress has competent leaders to look inwards and decide who would be best, and that decision can be taken. There is no lack of vision in the party. A lot of senior leaders are there, living and active, and if they're given an opportunity, I think it would be ideal, because there has to be a consensus emerging. It's not just one individual coming and then others ganging up against the person. The whole issue is It has to be a consensus. And when I mean a leader who comes in who can build up consensus.